Top 10 Xbox Game Pass horror games. Be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well. We've got some scary games for you coming up with Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. In this game you will be venturing through a wasteland of sorts, the Zone, a place of mystery, a place of mutations, a place of weird random environmental effects that will burn, fry, or zap you along the way. You will be fighting just these mass arrays of monstrous creatures, other people, and some other haunting delights that will definitely challenge your skills as you attempt to survive, working through the story where you're never sure who to trust or where to go or what to do as all the problems start to build up around you. But you'll figure it out as you venture around as a stalker, trying to make your way and trying to, I guess, make a bit of a life out here, whatever life you choose, with the story that you sort of mold as you go around exploring and adventuring. But alas, a real adventure is in Resident Evil 2, where you will be able to choose multiple perspectives as you go through the in chaos Raccoon City. As a bit of a zombie uprising happens, you'll be solving some puzzles, fighting off hordes of the undead, and trying to figure out what exactly happened to make this all go on. And it'll be done in a horrifying, revamped, and enhanced way, really, as this game is quite beautifully upgraded for modern technology, while still remaining very close and familiar with its historic horror roots and franchise roots as well. So good luck getting out there, gathering the right supplies, mixing the right herbs, and trying to make your way through a variety of dark and at times well lit to see the horror situations as you survive as these characters that really are just trying to figure out what exactly is happening and how they got stuck in a situation like this, as it is most definitely a terrifying time to be had out there in Raccoon City. But it's a pretty good time when you're out there venturing through the land of Dead Space 2. Well, not really. But yeah, this is FPS boosted, which is nice. So the game is fluid, it's running well, it looks good. It's still hauntingly terrifying and messed up as you're dealing with these necromorphs, these terrifying, disgusting monsters, as you rip limbs, battle, blast things, stomp stuff, and try to survive in a new world of chaos. You're off of the ship, and now you're back onto land, or some sort of land, as you are a lot more confident in what you're doing, but also very much haunted by the crazy, wild things that have happened to you in the past. You're going to have to survive, you're going to have to deal with all those terrors and things that haunt you in the past, despite you trying to live in the present. It's a horrifying start, it's a terrifying adventure, and things just really don't quite go Isaac's way, let's put it that way. This is Dead by Daylight, which is an asymmetrical multiplayer experience. So it's 4v1, one player plays as the killer, the other 4 play as survivors trying to get away, like with Lara Croft here. So you will be going through a massive range of maps and locations with just an absolutely excellent roster of iconic horror characters from games, movies, TV, and even original frights the whole way through, which is quite exciting. It's a spooky, scary time, and it's a lot of fun as you try to get these jennies rolling and try to escape using a variety of tactics, tools, and other little tricks here or there. But remember, it's all about teamwork. Unless you're the killer, then it's about dismantling a team and making their teamwork not work. And of course, that's just fun the whole way through. But they pretty much nail the settings and the vibe of this game. They definitely do deliver for sure. So this is Prey, where you don't want to be the prey. You'll be out there exploring this unique psychological horror situation. So you're really trying to figure out what's going on, what's happening, why you are where you are. And then you're going to be dealing with these creatures that mimic things, as to say. They become things. They will surprise you, and they will terrify you, and they will cause problems for you as you attempt to survive and figure out what exactly is going on board this ship, a place that you weren't sure that you were on moments ago, and then everything goes wild and everything's messed up and you're not sure what exactly is going on or really what everything is all about, and you're just trying to find your way on this weird, mysterious ship of sorts, and it's quite a thriller of a ride, that is definitely for sure. But the real ride is Doom: The Dark Ages. There's lots of Doom action, but obviously the Dark Ages is our newest release of the series. So you'll be venturing through a bit of a medieval-inspired Doom. It's got all the stuff, you know, you've now got some crazy older school type weaponry, I guess you would say, that fits the era and the time they're trying to portray. You've got like a gun that shoots like skull bits and stuff, and all these cannon things, and a big mace thing, and your shield's a giant like chainsaw thing, and you got a dragon, and you blast things, and there's these giant mech things, and you shoot stuff, and you blow stuff up, and you gather items. And there's like a bit of a story as you go around smashing stuff, moving through puzzle-like environments, I guess, to a degree, and just being awesome as the Doom guy. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward on what it is, and it's definitely got some really messed up vibes. Just like the vibes you'll be feeling in Still Wakes the Deep, which actually had a new expansion that you can pick up as a DLC thing that extends the game a little bit further. So think of something like The Thing, but you're sort of on an oil rig. There's a lot of mystery, there's a lot of intrigue, you don't exactly know what's going on, and then things just start getting bad. And then things get worse, and then you try to figure out what exactly is happening, and then you're trying to survive, and there's maybe some other people you run into, and you don't even know what's going on, and then you see stuff, and there's some messed up stuff. You see some things you used to know. And yeah, if you've kind of watched The Thing, the vibes and the feeling are very similar, and this is much more of a little bit psychological thriller. It's more of a guided kind of thing. Anyone can play this. It's pretty like easygoing in what it is, and then it's mostly just the really frightening, creepy stuff going on in this one, just like the psychologically messed up stuff in The Evil Within 2. So this continues from The Evil Within, and basically puts our character in a new terrifying and messed up situation once again, something even darker, something even more twisted, and you really are on a goal, a path to try to save someone that you thought was potentially lost forever. It starts off easygoing, there's a bit of a hook, a bit of a twist, and then you find yourself exploring these maddening environments and worlds as you attempt to survive, with FPS boost as well, so you get to really go far on this one as far as like fluidity and quality, and really just explore this twisted, messed up place with all these strange creatures and happenings and things that will test your limits of survival on a bit of a noble quest, I guess you would say, to reclaim something that, you know, really feels deep to you and your character. And it's quite a journey, just like the journey of survival in State of Decay 2 as we await State of Decay 3 someday. So this is something you kind of play by yourself, you can play cooperatively, you'll be attempting to survive. So this is like a zombie survival management game, so you basically have like a core group of survivors, and there's lots of different modes, and this game was really well updated and supported over a long period of time, so there's actually like lots of secondary content to this one. But the main goal is that you're out there in this pretty large environment, or I guess set of environments, and you are trying to survive and see how far you can go. You'll be gathering resources, clearing out these really disgusting, terrifying hives of all these super intense zombies, gathering resources, making sure everybody's healthy, and when you lose somebody, you know, you kind of lose somebody, and that's sort of it. You got to just try to make it work, and it's sort of really terrifying at times when things get really intense and rough, and yeah, you're just trying to make it out alive, or trying to dive into a fantasy world of Alice Madness Returns. So you kind of get like a bit of a full double package on this one. So this is a 3D platformer with, of course, a twist on Alice in Wonderland. The regular world is super, super messed up, and this Big G environment is really, really quite neat, and it's really twisted and sort of mature, but still has a little bit of that like whimsical edge that you would expect out of Alice in Wonderland. And they just do a really good job with a really fantasy twisted world that's really dark and grim, and it's got a great lead character, and it's got such a neat vibe and style to it, and it's always one I love to recommend whenever I can. So anyways, yeah, top 10 Xbox Game Pass horror games for I guess, 2025. Be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well, and hopefully you found something spooky and fun to play, and I'm sure we'll be back next year around for more spooky, scary stuff.